Hello, Spilling the Sweet Tea fam. Today I'm spilling the tea on how to make sweet potato butter. It is day 3 of my sweet potato series, so I'm going to show you how to make sweet potato butter and how to can it. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so I can share with you more easy southern recipes. The first thing you want to do to make sweet potato butter is bake 4 large sweet potatoes. I bake my sweet potatoes on 400 until they're nice and soft. Now all you want to do is add them to a bowl and then give them a really good mash, just like this. When I made this sweet potato butter, I used 6 cups of mashed sweet potatoes. But if you only want a little bit of sweet potato butter, just cut everything in half. The next thing you want to do is add some brown sugar. I added half a cup. I then added some apple juice. I added about 2.5 cups of apple juice to my sweet potatoes and brown sugar. These are some of the spices that I used. I used ground cinnamon, I used ground clove, allspice, as well as some nutmeg. I think the next time I make sweet potato butter, I will cut out the ginger and add more nutmeg to give it more of a sweet potato pie butter feel. Once you add your spices, all you want to do is give everything a good mix so it's well incorporated. You want to make sure you mix well so you can incorporate the apple juice as well as all of the spices and the brown sugar until it looks a little bit like this. Cook on medium to high heat for about 15 minutes. You're looking to get the liquid or that apple juice absorbed and completely out of your mixture. So I cooked mine for about 15 to 20 minutes until I was seeing absolutely no liquid in my pot. At this part of the process, you're still going to have lumps, but what we're going to do is going to come through with an immersion blender to make everything nice and smooth. You can also put your mixture into a regular blender, but I have this hand blender that I use. So all I did was break it out and blend up my mixture until it came out nice and smooth. This is the texture that you're looking for. It should be nice and smooth, just like butter. Now you can stop here if you want to store this in an airtight container in the fridge for about a week, but because I made so much sweet potato butter, I decided to can a few jars and give it to my friends and family. In order to can anything, you're going to need some 8-ounce glass jars. You're going to need some lids and some bands. In order to sterilize my jars and pull them in and out the water, I use this tool in order to do so. You're also going to need a funnel so your sweet potato butter goes into your jars nice and neat. The first thing you want to do is get a stock pot and boil some water and then add your jars so you can sterilize the jars. I have a canning pot, but because I'm only making about 5 or 6 jars of sweet potato butter, I'm just going to use a large stock pot. Once you add all of your jars to the pot, you then want to add your bands and your lids because you want to make sure that everything is sterilized and hot. I normally let my jars and my lids boil for about 10 minutes before I take them out. The first thing you want to do is take out your sterilized jar, remove all of the water from the jar, and then place it on a plate. Or you can place it directly on the counter. It's up to you. The next thing you want to do is add your funnel on top of your jar. Another tool that's helpful for canning is a ladle. Using your ladle, all you have to do is just add your sweet potato butter directly into your jars. You don't want to add your sweet potato butter to the tip top of your jar. You want to make sure you have a little bit of headspace. That's key anytime you're canning. Once you've added your sweet potato into your jar, all you want to do is remove the funnel and then inspect the outside of the jar for air bubbles. If you have air bubbles that you're seeing on the outside of your jar, just grab a knife and then try to remove those air bubbles. To make sure you have a good seal on your jars, you want to wipe the top of your jars off with just a damp paper towel. Now just add your lid and your band to your jar and make sure it's closed nice and tight. Repeat these steps until you have all of your jars filled with your sweet potato butter. Make sure you keep your jars in boiling water while you finish off the rest of the jars. The sweet potato butter turned out absolutely amazing. I served it on my buttermilk biscuits and also tried it on my sweet potato biscuits. If you want to order Miss Lena's biscuit mix, my buttermilk or my sweet potato, go to www.spillingthesweettea.com to order. From the 6 cups of mashed sweet potatoes, I was able to get about 6 to 7 jars. What I did to seal the jars was add them to another pot of boiling water. You want to make sure there's enough water in your pot to actually cover the top of the jars. This stage of the canning process is going to allow for your lids to actually seal so your sweet potato butter stays fresh longer. Once all of your jars are added to your pot, you just want to set your timer for 10 minutes. and allow the water to boil around the jars for that length of time. After 10 minutes, cut off the pot and let the jars sit for 5 minutes. Once they've set for 5 minutes, just remove them from the water and then add them to the counter. Once you have all of the jars added to the counter, the next thing you want to do is just wipe off the excess water from the top of the lids. My mom is the one who taught me how to can, so anytime she canned anything, she would place a towel on top of anything she canned and let it sit overnight. By the next morning, once you tap on the top of the lids, they all should be completely down and sealed. I added some cute twine to a couple jars and gave them to my neighbor and then kept the rest in my pantry. This sweet potato butter came out absolutely amazing. I served them with my sweet potato biscuits and then I also tried them with my buttermilk biscuits. This is a great activity to do with your kids and also a great gift to give if you're looking to give a homemade gift or handmade gift for the holidays. The sweet potato butter was absolutely delicious. If you like this video, make sure to like and comment and also subscribe to my channel for more easy Southern recipes. Bye, y'all.